This is the Kia EV6 battery electric car, and it may just be the best all-around EV value you can find on the market today. Let me tell you why. Hi, I'm Jeremy Cato, and this is CatoCarGuy.com. Thanks for watching, and if you have not subscribed, please do. Let's start with the design. This EV6 has a coupe-like roofline, obvious aerodynamic qualities, and it sits low to the ground with the wheels pushed to the corners. There's a long wheelbase here. This car sits on the road planted. It looks serious and it looks fast. You can't see it from here, of course, but below the floor right here, that's where the battery pack rests. You have two battery choices, by the way. The base 58 kilowatt hour battery or the 77.4 kilowatt hour one, which gives you the most range, 400 plus kilometers, depending on how you drive, where you drive, and the weather. Putting a big, heavy battery under the floor is a real plus for cabin space and ride comfort, stability, and cornering. The low center of gravity really leaves the car planted. A few more words about the design. It's futuristic without being outlandish. It's low-slung and eye-grabbing without being offensive and over the top. What you have here is a car that's smooth, simple, clean, and modern. People notice it, and they don't even really know why. It just stands out. That design theme carries on into the cabin. The standout feature in the cabin is this giant instrument and infotainment display. What we have here is well finished. The materials are excellent, with handsome patterns and textures and tasteful colors. There are buttons and controls, but they are kept to a minimum. Everything you need to know about and to do with the EV6 is managed through the widescreen digital instrument cluster with its excellent graphics. And all this flows into the central infotainment display. However, up here you've got all the screens, but down here on this control panel, well, pressing a button allows you to switch from radio and sound controls back to climate control. So there's a redundancy here that's kind of cool. These controls are visible through backlit buttons and dials. This one control surface controls two separate systems. Controls for the heated and cooled seats and the heated steering wheel are found on the forward edge of the floating center console. The USB ports and such, they are found near the vehicle's floor. It's a reach down to connect gear. But I like the slick wireless charging pad on the center console. And the floating storage bin beneath the center console is welcome. You will love driving the EV6. The electric powertrain delivers massive amounts of horsepower and torque to all four wheels when needed. The electric power arrives the millisecond you stab the throttle. There's no power lag. Pick Sport Mode from the button on the steering wheel, and the throttle response is instant. Like all EVs, there's no shifting here, just a whoosh of power. Each axle is powered by its own electric motor. So the all-wheel drive system in this higher-end model has a minimum of hardware. And the software that manages all the performance feels spot on from behind the wheel, with power applied just where it needs to be, where you want it to go, and at just the right time. In a nutshell, the EV6 as a driving machine is smooth, responsive, powerful, and quiet. Ride quality? The EV6 is firm, stable, and poised, though things get a little bit bumpy and jumpy on rougher pavement. If you spent the extra money for the long-range EV battery, you might get 430 or 440 kilometers of range. In very cold weather, and depending on how you drive, range could plunge to 250 to 300 kilometers. Charging? Your regular old household plug, a level 1 charger at 110 to 120 volts, well, you'll be able to recharge the battery at a rate of about 3 to 4 kilometers an hour. A level 2 gives you about 40 kilometers per hour of charging at room temperature, so 10 hours for a full charge. A level 3 fast charger can juice up the Ev6 to as much as an 80% charge in as little as 18 to 20 minutes. Now a few words about how the Ev6 provides for crew and cargo. Up front, you'll find lots of head and legroom. The long wheelbase makes for good rear seat legroom too, though the roofline means rear headroom is not great for taller folks. The cargo area back here is reasonably generous, though the load floor height is higher than you might expect. Why is that? Remember, the battery pack is under the floor. Kia promotes a base price for the Ev6 in the mid-40,000s. Realistically, you're looking at 50,000 plus out the door. For the sexiest versions, more than $70,000. But in today's world of EVs, that's still a pretty good value. And keep in mind, a fill-up will run you about 25 bucks. I'm Jeremy Cato. This is CatoCarGuide.com. Thanks for watching, and if you have not already subscribed, please do. See you next time.